So in today's video, I have a special guest with me. She's actually, you look so scared. This is not natural to me. You're just like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by again. So in today's video, I have a special guest with me. Her name's Tina, and she's actually my cousin. Say hi. Hi everyone. Yeah. So in today's video, we're just basically going to demonstrate how to cover dark circles. Tina works really hard, and she has some dark circles. So I thought that it would be perfect to like model it on somebody else, because sometimes when you do makeup on yourself, you're so used to the routine that it's hard to go through every step. So I'm going to show you guys how we cover dark circles on Tina. And again, this is more for like when you want that full coverage under eye, when you're probably going out or to a party or something. So yeah, so if you guys are excited to see how I turn Tina's dark circles around, then please keep watching. So before I start concealing her under eyes, I do want to mention that the skin under your eyes is really delicate and really soft. So a lot of the times it's prone to dryness, texture, and fine lines. So when you do apply makeup, sometimes it'll settle into these lines and it'll accentuate texture and dryness. So the most important thing to getting a smooth, flawless under eye is to really prep your skin. So the first and foremost step is to exfoliate your under eyes. If you are sensitive to exfoliators, then just use a very gentle scrub. But you do want to make sure that you are rubbing the beads into your under eyes so that it's really removing all that dry skin. And then that way when you go into moisturize, it'll be nice and smooth. And when you are covering under eyes, you do have to layer product. It's with some people, you guys are lucky enough to only use one concealer. But when you have darker circles, you need to actually layer a lot of product to make sure that the makeup lasts. So make sure that it's really well prepped. So a lot of the times people will have under eye puffiness, which is very important to get rid of, because if you don't get rid of your under eye puffiness, it's going to cast shadows, which no amount of concealer will fill in those shadows and make the darkness go away. So with Tina, she doesn't have a lot of puffiness, but what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of depuffing eye gel and I'll smooth out the under eyes. So the depuffing eye gel that I personally use for myself is by Lancome. It's called the Illuminating and Anti-Fatigue Cooling Eye Gel. So what this is, it's a cooling eye gel, and it has like the metal beads where you can really smooth out the puffiness. Puffiness basically happens when you have built up water under your eyes. So by using a cooling gel and really like soothing the eye area, it's really going to make sure that all that puffiness goes away. So as you guys can see, I'm just taking the eye gel and just gently pulling outward. This is going to give it a really tightening effect, and it's going to smooth out her under eyes. Next, we're going to go into moisturizing her under eyes. So we're going to take the Origins GinZing eye cream. It's a refreshing eye cream that's kind of like a salmon-y tone, and it has a brightening effect to it because it has a pearly finish. So this is really going to help in moisturizing and waking up her eyes as well. I'm just going to take this on a brush, and I take a good amount just because I want that moisture to last for a long time. And I'm just going to go around her eyes and to make sure to go on the eyelid as well. So now that we're going to start the concealing process, I'm actually going to zoom up on Tina's under eyes, and I'm just going to show you guys and talk through the process. So the first step when you're concealing your under eyes is to correct. Often with dark circles, they do have a bluish brown tone, so using a pink to salmon or peach to deep orange corrector will really help to neutralize that area. So I'm going to be using this one by MAC. So it's the MAC Prep and Prime in Peach Lustre. I'm just going to take the corrector and just layer it under her eyes. And as you can tell, that does look a little crazy right now, but we do want to really mask the under eyes with this corrector, because that will mean that that's going to prevent how much more makeup we have to put on later. So just look up for me. Dude, your eyelashes are so nice.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to conceal the top portion too, like if you're going to be wearing eyeshadow and stuff, I definitely recommend going in with a little bit of corrector on the top. The reason I'm not blending the corrector too much is because I do want the staying power of the corrector under her eyes. So when I go in with concealer later, I'm going to blend that out really well, but I do want to make sure that the corrector sits on her under eyes and doesn't move from there. So now we're going to go into concealer, and when you are using concealer, you want to make sure that you are using a shade that's very close to your skin tone. I wouldn't go anything more than like 2 shades lighter or even 1. The reason being because you do want your under eyes to look bright, but the first step is to conceal. If we went with a light concealer right now, it would not only look very ashy, but it might not cover up the orange well enough. So I'm going to go in with my trusty Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This concealer is amazing. It's full coverage, but it doesn't have a cakey finish. And I'm going to take the shade Tan. So as you can see, it's very close to her natural skin tone. So we're going to apply this, and then after, we will go in and brighten with powder. So now when I'm doing the concealer, I'm going to use the Beauty Blender, because the Beauty Blender is a really good tool for blending out product and making it look super natural. Okay, so quick change of plans. I thought it might be better to show you guys like one under eye that's not done and one under eye that's done. So we just removed the corrector off of the other eye, and we'll finish up the other eye later. But I just want you guys to focus on the difference as we're covering up this side. So we're going to go back in and I'll finish the demonstration. So now that you have the under eyes concealed, we are going to go ahead and set that concealer. Now with Tina, she does have slight fine lines under her eyes. And there is a little bit of concealer creasing if you look up for me. Just very slightly in this area. So to avoid this creasing later, you do want to either bake or powder. In Tina's case, I am going to bake just because her creasing is very small and I want to make sure that I'm able to get everything. So I'm taking the RCMA No Color Powder. So before I bake, I am going to tap out the concealer to make sure that there is no fine lines and I don't set any fine lines. But just look up. And we're just going to take that powder and really just set the under eye. Okay, so that's one under eye done, so you guys can see the huge difference that it made. It does look a little crazy right now. She just said that it looks like she got punched on the other side of her face, but that's okay. This side's more so for like when you're going full glam and full party mode. So what we're going to do is we're just going to finish up the rest of Tina's face, and then we'll be back to show you the full before and after. Okay guys, so we're back with half of Tina's face done. So this side is obviously the face that has the makeup on. So we're just going to zoom you in so you guys can see. Okay, so obviously the biggest focus here is the under eyes. You guys can see that they're perfectly concealed, perfectly brightened. Obviously you could tell that she is wearing makeup, but it's not that noticeable, and obviously when you're going to a party, it's a huge difference. Okay, so now that this side is done, the final step is to set your under eyes. Now, with her, she didn't need so much setting under the eyes because she doesn't have too much dryness under her eyes. But if you are dry, then before you put your makeup on, like your eye makeup, your eyeliner and stuff, make sure you set your eyes. So I'm going to take my favorite Smashbox primer water. Just close your eyes. And we're just going to let that soak in. So that's Tina's final look. As you can tell, we went for soft, like pinky gold eyes with a bold wing and lashes, and then just very like pink flushed cheeks and a bright pink lipstick to complete the look. So I'm zooming you guys in closer so you can really see the skin and see how much of a difference that made. So Tina, if you could just open your eyes for us. Alright guys, so that concludes this video. I hope it was really helpful for you guys. As you can tell, obviously everything we did made a huge difference, and in person her skin looks very smooth, very clean. It doesn't look cakey. So I know a lot of people do struggle with how to cover dark circles, especially when they are so deep and you do need to layer product. But I really hope that all these steps helped you guys and you guys try it out and it works for you. So I also just want to thank Tina for coming out and modeling for me. It takes a lot of guts to come out here and like show your dark circles. basically. But honestly, she's beautiful with or without makeup, and I've been doing makeup on her since I was like since she was probably like 6 or 7 years old. I've always had that passion in me, and she was always my model. We always did makeup on her, and she would just sit there, and because she's the youngest of us all, and we'd just be like, Tina, let us do your makeup. So yeah, thank you so much, Tina, for coming, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video again, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Ready?
Yeah. You're not going to be in this at all?
No. Or that way?
I got punched in the other face.
It does look a little crazy right now.
My lips look jokes.
Dude, it looks really nice on the makeup, right?
It does.
I think.
I think you overdrew my lip just a little tad.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Just a tad bit.
Okay, guys, so I really hope you guys... Okay, guys, so that concludes...